Hey guys, FarRock here. Okay, today I'm going to commentate on EKImko's replays of Encounter with Twilight. This is the first map that opens up to you when you play Battleforge. Well, after the tutorial map. So he's going to do this 4 times, each time with a pure deck. The first time he's going to use pure shadow, which means every orb he's going to make is a shadow orb. Then he's going to do the other colors. He starts off with 3 Forsakens, which do very nice damage, and 1 squad of Snapjaws. Now Snapjaws don't do good damage, but the units that they attack get poisoned and become weaker and take 50% more damage from other people. So it's as if now he has 6 sets of Forsaken attacking each unit that it hits. So they're going to go down very quickly. We're going to watch this replay in double speed, since PvE doesn't require as much micromanagement as PvP. EKImko is now going to build 2 sets of skeleton warriors. Now these units are great because they have this ability which makes them much less vulnerable to attack. You'll see him activate it. They take 60% less damage, but then after 30 seconds they automatically die. There they go. Now the reason he's doing this is because these hags do massive damage, so they're tanking the damage while his shooters are knocking out the hags one by one. Thanks to the Snapjaws, they go down very quickly. And EKImko clears out this entire area with absolutely no problem. By the way, there are pretty cool sound effects that come with the game. I turned them off for this commentary so that you can hear me describe in detail what's going on. He's now going tier 2, which means he can make stronger units and buildings. This building is called Furnace of Flesh, and it takes dead bodies from nearby, eats their corpses, and puts power from his void power into his real power pool. Vile Blood is very strong, but with the help of the Snapjaws it goes down really quickly. And these Whisperers are really annoying. They shoot with these blinding lights, and it's very hard for ranged units to see. So EKImko finally spreads out his units. So the Whisperers attack some, and the other ones manage to kill them. And here's an ambush. Here he uses an ability on Forsaken, which makes them deal 100% more damage, but then they die very quickly. But the army was too great, they died right away anyhow. Nice card. This is a promo harvester. It was only given for a short period of time. Very expensive card. Now, the card itself is amazing versus buildings, but if you use shadow spells to buff it, like Life Weaving and Unholy Power, it becomes almost impossible to take down this unit. It has siege attack, so it does 50% more damage versus buildings or any structures. So you're going to see EKImko is going to use the harvester mainly to knock out spawn buildings so the enemy doesn't come as much. There he used Life Weaving again. And here he casts a spell that makes dead units turn into an army of the undead. Skeleton warriors with their ability enabled. Now he can't win this fight with the harvester because this whatever it's called, abomination, is a very powerful unit, but he came here just to get rid of the spawn building. So now no more units are going to come from here. And here he casts the spell again, Undead Army, which takes from corpses and brings them to life as 4 full skeleton warriors. It was probably unnecessary to cast it down there because he didn't do any real damage and the units are just going to heal up because they're near buildings. So that probably wasn't the brightest. Here we have those annoying Whisperers. And another harvester. What makes the harvester so unique is that in Battleforge, extra large cards usually only come in tier 3 and tier 4. Harvester is the only extra large unit in the game that requires only 2 orbs. Now that's the thing with playing pure decks. You get stronger cards. but you're more vulnerable to the weaknesses of that color. For example, Shadow doesn't have any healing spells, and it doesn't have any crowd control spells. So you just have to be really aggressive really quickly. Fire is similar in that aspect. And he goes straight for the spawn building again, using Unholy Power to give him more, gives him stronger attack and stronger defense, actually. And then he used Life Weaving as well. That spell, Nether Warp, teleports the unit, but it also gives them a slow healing, but that wasn't enough. The Abomination's a really strong unit. He's going to need more than that to kill it. This is a great card, Cultist Master. For free, it spawns 3 Nightcrawlers, which in themselves are okay, but they're built with Frenzy, which means they do 100% more damage. That makes them pretty awesome. And he spawns an Undead Army again. Now, after EKImko clears out this area, there are 2 ways you can complete this map. You can either go out to this area and tackle base by base, which is probably easier, but it involves more work, and it takes longer. Or you can use this Screaming Stone, you can activate it, and then every enemy unit from this entire map will come charging through this gate. That's what EKImko is going to do, at least in this replay. So he's going to build up a really strong defense over here, build up this wall, and call the enemy. And as the enemy comes and tries to attack the wall, he's going to have these buildings, Necroblasters, kill the enemy. Now, Necroblasters are really awesome buildings. They do phenomenal attack, 4,260, which for a tier 3 building is amazing. The downside is they need corpses to keep them alive. Now remember, Cultist Masters can spawn 3 Nightcrawlers. So he's going to use Cultist Masters to make Nightcrawlers and then just kill them off because they don't cost any power. And the corpses from these Nightcrawlers are going to feed these buildings. Watch. Notice he also made a Furnace of Flesh here. So the corpses will also go into the furnace and give him void power back. You can see now the buildings are being fed. He's going to use it one more time, and you're going to see the Furnace of Flesh take some corpses as well. And look, his void power is disappearing. It's very quickly going to here, and he can build more towers. I'm going to speed this part of the map up because there's really nothing going on. He's now going to finish this off to activate the rest of the storyline, which you can't hear because I turned off sound. This card is called Resource Booster. Since Shadow is all about aggression and moving quickly, this speeds up the power wells. Now that's good because you get power faster, but it's bad because the wells empty much quicker. So in PvP this is terrible because you lose your wells too quickly, but in player versus environment it's really good because you can build an army really quickly. You can see these buildings now are completely full with corpses, and he is now ready for the attack to launch. Here we had 2 extra large units come in. Look how fast those buildings destroy them. Okay, I'm going to slow down the game now because he activated the stone. Now these birds, phoenixes, when they crash into the ground, they make a massive explosion. And if there are enough corpses on the ground, they come back to life. So since there's such a massive army coming here, and these buildings are doing such heavy damage, these phoenixes are all going to respawn and come back to life. And then he can go for another dive. Look, they're all respawning. It's kind of pointless now because there are no enemies left. This whole area is empty now. Great job, EKImko. He's now going to destroy these buildings because when you destroy buildings or walls or units, that power goes into your void power. So he's going to destroy all these things which now are useless to him, build up void power, probably use Furnace of Flesh to put corpses around here and get all that void into actual power. And then he's going to build his 4th orb and make stronger units. For this map, you have to beat the boss, the Wrathgazer. Very strong unit with 62,000 health. It doesn't attack per se, but it paralyzes units with its gaze and then disintegrates them. So you need a lot of units attacking at once because it disintegrates them pretty quickly, unless they have a lot of health. He's going to kill these guys at some point because they're pretty much useless at this point. All right, let me speed this up. Again, resource boosters by each well to get his power quicker. And now he's going to build his 4th orb. As you can see, he was killing off his phoenixes, and here he's making more units to feed this. Now look how much raw power he has. Okay, these ships called DeathRays are very interesting. They do pretty respectable damage, 4,000 damage. But they have an awesome ability called leech guns, where they can suck health away from their own units and build up their attack. And if this becomes full, they will do 100% more damage. That's 8,000 damage each, which is amazing. Now you can keep your units near your own buildings and they'll just heal up. So that's basically free. Plus, DeathRays are extra large counters. That means they do 50% more damage against extra large units. This boss is an extra large unit. So each one of these ships is going to do 50% more of 8,000, which is 1,200 total damage for each 20 seconds. Each one of these ships is going to do, which is amazing. This is a very cool tactic. I've never used this in PvE, and now that I see EKImko doing it, I'm considering it. This is what Shadow is all about. It's about getting massive damage but having a sacrifice. Now he's smartly keeping his units near buildings to heal, but a lot of the Shadow spells involved, the spells or the abilities, take life away from units or kill friendly units, or you can activate the abilities and the friendly units die. So there's sacrifices to getting stronger attack in Shadow. Shadow also has, as you saw, void manipulation, where you can get your void back really quickly. That's very impressive. And he's just filling up this last ship, and then he's probably going to go in for the attack. You can see that the wells over here depleted already. They ran out, and he has that power, and then the wells just shut down. These Necro Furies do really good damage when they're rooted. He's paralyzing now this Overlord, and you're going to see these ships are going to do insane damage to the Wrathgazer. Look at that. Now these spirits, they give him a boost. I don't remember exactly what they do. Either they give him the ability to make some sort of massive splash damage or to be stronger. But either way, you're supposed to kill them before they reach him. These ships are so souped up, it doesn't matter. They whack this Wrathgazer in seconds. Very impressive. Alright guys, see you in the next video where EKImko takes this on with a pure Frost deck.